Good morning, Vault 76. This is the Overseer. I hope you all enjoyed the party last night, even those who may have overindulged and overslept. But it's time to get up and get out there. We've been locked away long enough. Today is Reclamation Day. It may be time to leave, but I'll never forget the day you all entered Vault 76. You come from every walk of life, every race, color, and creed. But you all share one very important trait. You are this country's best and brightest. But more importantly, you'll always be my family.
Ooh, what a night. We wake up and we don't even recognize ourselves. What exactly did we drink? Here we can create our character. We can choose from a number of different presets, select a gender, fine-tune various parts of the body, choose our body type, and then name our character, all of which should be very familiar to anyone who played Fallout 4. Then we get to print a Vault 76 security badge. This is our introduction to the camera system of Fallout 76, and it has a number of options including field of view, turning depth of field on or off, borders, textures, etc. Upon finishing our ID card, we gain 20 Atom. Atom is the new microcurrency that comes with Fallout 76, and as you just saw here, we get it all the time during the course of our gameplay. We can use the Atom to purchase vanity items in the Atom Shop, which was not available to explore at the time I shot this footage, but when we talked with the Bethesda devs, they assured us over and over and over again that yes, we can purchase Atom with money, or we could earn it during the course of our gameplay, but at the end of the day, we can only spend that Atom on cosmetic items. Now that our vision is clear and we actually recognize ourselves in a mirror, we can stand up and try to leave our room. We find a terminal nearby, and it looks like we received a message. Here we find 3 items. The first, Happy Reclamation Day. Today is the day, everyone. Reclamation Day. We've been preparing for this moment for 25 years. We're ready. You're ready. America is waiting for us. So let's get out there. The Overseer. Ah, that must have been her voice we heard upon waking. In the next one, you're invited. Countdown to Reclamation Day. Who? Everyone. When? 10 p.m. to midnight. We've opened the remaining liquor rations and the official Vault-Tec party hats. The Overseer will give a speech at 10 minutes to midnight and will lead the countdown. Have fun, everyone. Ah, it's all coming back. The big bash last night, drinking the last of the Nuka Cola Dark. Oh, I've got a splitting headache. The final item was a holotape called Nuka Tapper. It's a game and we could play it here on the terminal, or we can eject it, carry the tape with us, and play it on our Pip-Boy. Nuka Tapper is a brand new minigame, much in the vein of the other minigames we recall from Fallout 4 like Zetan Invaders, though this one is much different. We work as a guy pouring beer from a tap. The servers arrive through a door and ask for beer. We then have to pour the beer into the tankard and slide it down the bar to the server. However, they all come at once, and then they start arriving faster and faster. The longer it takes us to get the beer to them, the closer they get to the end of the bar. Our goal is to get this beer to them as fast as possible. Nearby, we find our favorite guitar. Not sure how we remember to play after a night like that, but if we wait long enough, we get a special bonus. We got a message saying you feel well-tuned. I honestly don't know what this meant because at this point in the game we can't open up our Pip-Boy, so I couldn't check my status effects. Nearby there's a lamp we can interact with. Against the wall is a mural. It says good morning. If we activate it, have a great day. And then again, good evening. Okay, that's nice. I guess it just reminds us what time it is. Heading out of the bedroom, we arrive at our living room. We can turn right to go into the laundry room. There's a bit of a workshop back here where we see all sorts of goodies that we'll become familiar with and which will become valuable for scrap. Back in the laundry room, we can activate each of these machines. Looks like they each work, but we don't really get anything from it. Passing a good old giddy-up buttercup, we can move to the bathroom. Looks like we made some notes for ourselves on the mirror. Reminder, don't put TP on backwards. I think that's a joke about how toilet paper was placed in the sole survivor's house at the very beginning of Fallout 4. And the next one says, need more sugar bombs. Heading out of the bathroom, we can explore the living room. Here we find a big glass case with all sorts of awards. Annual Vault Halloween Costume Contest, first place. Outstanding Achievement Award. In appreciation for your commitment and dedication to our isolation program. Sacrificing many so some can live. Uh-oh. Excellence in Bravery. In recognition of the earned mystery meat experiment, you volunteered to eat when no one else would. We are proud of you and glad you are not dead. And then on the bottom shelf, we've got Best Looking Hair, Cleanest Toilet Award, and Performance Award Vault Hall Monitor in recognition of loyal and dedicated service towards the order and safety of the community. Vault Tech. Nearby, we can spin a globe, turn on a gramophone, got some Wagner, nice. And on the nearby TV, we see an overseer's directive, proceed to exit. That's right, we need to get ourselves ready and head out the door. Just as we're about to leave, we find our Pip-Boy in a case on a wall. Releasing it from its chamber, and with that, we begin the quest, Reclamation Day. And we can finally figure out what that well-tuned status effect was that we got by playing the instrument. AP Region plus 25. Looks like this lasts for an hour. Great. And look at this gorgeous Pip-Boy. It is a thing of beauty. But we don't have time to admire it. We've got to get out of the vault. Now, I don't know if you can hear it, but this entire time, we've been hearing footsteps above us and outside our room. And just then, oh, our fellow vault dweller runs by the window. All right, well, let's not be the last ones here. Opening the door.
You have been tasked with nothing less than the rebuilding of America. Such a huge responsibility. Just know that Vault Tech is proud of you. I am proud of you. When you hear this, it means I've been gone for several hours. I've got my own mission out there in Appalachia. This is the Overseer, signing off.
Oh no, and it looks like we are last. Checking all these doors, we see that many of them are inaccessible, but there are still a few here that don't say inaccessible that we still can't open. These are the doors that other players have come out of. We'll see more of them when we head upstairs, but we just heard from the Overseer that she has a mission too, and that she's already left the vault. I wonder what that could be. We see a Mr. Handy off to the east, but before we head that way, let's go upstairs to explore. We find Vault Boys pointing the way out. This is for people who arrived upstairs. Looks like we have to go downstairs to leave the vault, but first, let's explore this kitchen area. We see that it must have been quite a party last night. They even have beer pong laid out. There's dirty dishes and stacks of party hats. And as we explore one of the tables, we find a love note. Dear Lisa, dearest Lisa, do you know that my heart skips a beat every time you enter? Your sweet voice rings, milk and 3 sugars, please, in my dreams. I long to kiss you. I want... Oh, and it looks like this may have been a draft. Perhaps whomever wrote this was practicing, which might explain his Dear Lisa twice at the beginning. It continues. You only know me as the one who makes muffins, delivers drinks, but I am so much more. I have seen the Congo. I visited indigenous tribes in the South Pacific. Too boastful? Yeah, he's writing a draft here. I want to be with you. I want to protect you. But then he got cut off. What does he mean he visited the Congo? Listening to a Danny Kaye song doesn't really count. But then we have to remember, these events are only taking place 25 years after the bombs dropped, making it entirely possible that the author of this note lived a rich and full life before entering the vault. Though if he entered the vault at age 25, he would be 50 right now, and if so, we get the impression that he was writing this note for a much younger woman. That's it for the kitchen area. Moving south to the other side of the atrium, we find more doors that we can't access. These must be the doors that other players have arrived out of. Nearby we find a gnome with a party hat on, and then we find a room with the door open. But even though the door is open, we still can't get through. The interior looks almost identical to our room, but remember, we came out of a room on the bottom floor. But that's it for the top level. So jumping down, we can cross the green to finally meet the Mr. Handy, Crutchley.
Sir, hello. Oh, finally! I feared you'd never wake up. Don't you remember? It's Reclamation Day. Time to leave the vault. Most of the others have already gone. Best get cracking.
All right, time to head out. Moving east, we see the Pip-Boy cardboard cutouts pointing us up the stairs. Moving north, we find our first Nuka-Cola machine, but it's sadly empty. Nearby is our first resource stand. This one, stay hydrated. Limit 1 per person. We can loot some purified water and some Radex.
Imagine dying of hunger or thirst. How utterly embarrassing. Wildlife should be abundant in Appalachia. Happy hunting!
Thanks, Worthy. Moving west down the hallway, we find another resource stop, health and medication.
Always stay stocked with medicines. And don't forget to use them.
This guy was named Cavendish. I love the names of these robot butlers. Here we can grab some Radaway and a stim pack. The next resource pit stop is Power is Key.
Oh, come on. Building a personal power grid and making your own electricity. How hard could it be?
Higginbottom? This guy's name was Higginbottom. This was our first backpack filled with scrap, components for building our camps later. We are pointed up the stairs to the south. At the top, we find resource stop number 4.
Heck of a party last night, eh, sir? Good to see you all together one last time. Drunk, joyous, and not staving off a horrible death, minute by minute.
And here we picked up a party hat, one of our first pieces of apparel. Now from here, we can go one of 2 ways. South to the Overseer, or continue west out the door. We'll head to the Overseer's office first. We get the impression that this vault goes much deeper into the earth. Many of these doors are blocked off and inaccessible, but we see glowing lights beyond. Moving east, we find only one door we can interact with, and that's the Overseer's door to the north. Inside, we find her terminal, and on it, 4 entries and a holotape. We'll start by reading the first one, Vault Tech Reports. Confidential, Overseer's Eyes Only. 25 years after the vault doors close, you are to prepare your citizens to leave Vault 76 and begin a process called Reclamation. Specifics will be disseminated automatically as that time approaches. After Reclamation Day, you are personally ordered to find and secure 3 nuclear silos, codenamed Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. If these sites are still nuclear capable, ensure no one except Vault-Tec can access or launch nuclear ordnance. To be clear, even if there are other authorities, whether government, militia, or otherwise, their claims are to be ignored. Vault-Tec alone maintains jurisdiction. Whoa, so wait a minute. Was Vault-Tec trying to use the nuclear apocalypse to take over America? Why else would they ignore any other claim to these nuclear silos, even claims from the US government or the remnants of that government? In the next one, Vault 76 parameters. Congratulations, Overseer. Vault 76 is one of the most important projects that Vault-Tec has completed. No expense has been spared on building, staffing, and selecting the inhabitants of your vault. The cream of the crop of America have been chosen, including luminaries from Vault-Tec University. The special classes and instruction you've received about managing a vault do not apply to this assignment. Vault 76 is special. Your mission is to see to the livelihood and well-being of all your residents and make sure they're ready to colonize America once the all-clear is received. It is to be expected you will face challenges we haven't prepared you for. Adapt, learn, and thrive. America is counting on you. So 25 years ago, Vault-Tec allowed only luminaries into Vault 76. Are we one of those luminaries, or are we the offspring of those luminaries? After all, it has been 25 years. In the next section, under Operation Procedures, we find 2 more entries. The first, day-to-day duties. Your job as the Overseer is to see to the overall health and safety of Vault 76. Avoid loss of life at any cost. The Vault residents have been carefully chosen for their unique skills and temperament. Due to the aptitude of the Vault residents, you may be presented with unique challenges in maintaining order. As a last resort, each domicile can be locked down and the resident imprisoned for any duration you deem appropriate. Enforced solitary confinement can lead to psychological issues, so factor that in. Although the vault doors cannot be opened from the inside, keep the entry clear of all unauthorized personnel. The security team will stow all weapons and munitions after the amended entry period and will be armed solely with non-lethal devices. Perhaps that explains why we haven't found any weapons so far in the vault. If America is to be rebuilt, every life in this vault is special. Preserve them all. And in the next one, mandatory shutdown, our studies have shown that even after a relatively short duration of living with the amenities of Vault-Tec, that test subjects can grow to depend on them. That will not do for Vault 76. After the all-clear message is received, Vault 76 will shut down all functions inside of 24 hours. Air circulation will cease last, and you should warn the Vault residents that staying inside the vault can be lethal after this period. Everyone must leave the nest. It is imperative that all residents are focused on the important job of rebuilding America. So once we leave, we can't come back. In the next one, Archived Files, we find a number of new entries. The first, Reclamation Day, has arrived. These appear to be personal notes written by the Overseer. We counted down to midnight. I haven't seen everyone cheer like that since Vault Baby number 1 was born. I called lights out a couple hours ago. Had to get security to help a few people to their beds. Then the volunteers and I got all the standees set up, just like we practiced. Need to make the final recordings, and then it'll be time to head out that door. I wish I could be there to help everyone on their way, but I know they'll make me proud. In the next, Survival First. As instructed, we set up the survival packages. I've advised everyone to run fast and far from 76 as soon as the doors open. We have no information about what awaits us. Vault-Tec says we're America's best hope. Now, we'll find out. In the next one, Annual Review 2100. Top issues. At current count, 6 residents are under disciplinary lockdown. That's up from 4 last year. The morale officer has managed to quash the worst rumors about Appalachia. Cannibal mutants, burning rain, whatever. But tensions are high. It's generally pretty easy to maintain order. The pedigree of most of the residents is impressive, to say the least. But competence sometimes means arrogance, and arrogance means my authority gets tested more often than it should. Hydroponics has been struggling to keep up with demand. I've been loath to institute mandatory rationing, but in 2101 that may be necessary. 76 is full to bursting with people, more than we anticipated. We recall from the terminal we found in the Citadel during the events of Fallout 3 that only 500 people were slated to live here. Does that mean that they began to reproduce more quickly and in greater numbers than Vault-Tec initially anticipated? Top successes. The award ceremonies are a great way of stroking the most hardened egos since everyone is so damn competitive. The low point will be someone losing a tooth in a fight over the Best Dental Hygiene Award. So that explains why every single vault room had a case filled with trophies, some of which were ridiculous. The senior staff has been exemplary as always. Very dependable and loyal. It's been a struggle to keep our overachievers placated, but another year down and we're still here. The Vault 76 World Cup has proven to be a huge hit. The ball damn near broke the jukebox, but the energy in the atrium was just amazing. The final option is called Deleted Files, and inside we find no files found. Why did the Overseer delete these? What were these? The final option is to play the holotape inside the terminal. Overseer's log, Vault 76.
Overseer's log, or should I say, direct communication. Because whoever is listening to this had the moxie to try to find out where I've gone. But I'm glad you did. Truth is, I need your help. I've been given a task and I've decided to break protocol and tell you what it is. Because if there's one thing I've learned in these past few years, it's that we need to rely on each other. There were 3 active nuclear silos in Appalachia before the bombs fell. They blew up the world before. We can't let it happen again. So we've got to locate and secure all of the silos. Or die trying. Hopefully the former. But it's been 25 years. I just don't know what we're gonna find out there. Or where to start. My directive was to go to the nearest population center and assess the situation. I'll set up a camp on the way once I get my bearings. Find me there.
So Vault-Tec wanted the Overseer to go find these 3 nuclear launch silos by herself. A daunting task even with a team, but by herself? No wonder she's decided to break with protocol and ask for our help. She went to the nearest town. Well, I suppose that shouldn't be too hard to find. Looking out the Overseer's window, we can enjoy one final glimpse of the Vault 76 atrium and then head out. Passing Merriman, we can turn west, where we find another survival package.
Your camp is the key to survival and rebuilding, so use it often.
Thanks, Crowley. Here we find our camp. And it folds down into a handy portable little thing. I'm sure it just fit in my pocket. We're in some sort of storage area. Lots of boxes and furniture. We see a bunch of camps behind this cardboard cutout for the other Vault 76 dwellers, I'm sure. We can't loot anything in any of these lockers, however. So continuing out a door to the west, we arrive in some sort of personnel office. And here we find a personnel terminal. This terminal belonged to the personnel manager. In the first one, final notice. If anyone is found accessing this terminal and is not a member of the personnel department, you will be immediately reported to the security chief. No exceptions. Guess that doesn't really matter now that everyone's gone. And the next one, correspondence. We find 3 items. First up, missing Nuka-Cola Cherry. From J. Daly. Just because we're leaving doesn't give any of you the right to steal my stash of Nuka-Cola Cherry. I've been rationing those bottles for over 20 years. If I catch any of you, so help me God, there will be consequences. But exactly how much Nuka-Cola Cherry can you take with you outside the vault? I'm sure she'll find more. Next, about my reassignment, from T. Sullivan. I realize it may seem trivial in light of present circumstances, but I would greatly appreciate my reassignment being processed before Reclamation Day. I have worked many years to pass all written, verbal, and physical tests to become a sanitation engineer. I have a doctorate of engineering from GSU, and I don't want to end my tenure at our Vault 76 as a soda jerk. Please let me have the accolades I have earned. Thanks in advance. Soda jerk? Does that mean that he was the one caught stealing Nuka Cola Cherry from Jay Daly? In the next one, purge all records. From the security chief. Vault-Tec's reclamation procedure is very clear. All records must be purged before Reclamation Day. To be clear, after Reclamation Day, there will be no personnel department. There will be no Vault 76. Any of the projects you're in the middle of are done. If you, for some reason, can't find the time to erase your files, I'll send someone over to do it for you. You can bring it up with the overseer if you like. Backing out of this one, we can move on to personnel files. A through F, all files deleted. G through O, all files deleted. P through Z, all files deleted. There is officially no record of any of the people who lived here. That is until we explore the final entry, Unsaved Work. Here we find at least a few records of some of the vault residents. Looks like whomever was working on this terminal forgot to delete the data he or she was actively working on. R. Villanueva, previous occupation, Senior VP, Gibraltar Incorporated. Education, Doctorate of Applied Communications from Cambridge. Accomplishments, White House Communication Director, 2066 through 2069. National Debate Champion, 2056, likely a college award. Current occupation, barber. I guess there's a greater need for more practical jobs in the post-apocalypse. Next, A. Vince. Previous occupation, a colonel in the United States Air Force. Education, a Bachelor of Science in Aerospace Engineering from West Point. Accomplishments, Deputy Director of Strategic Planning, JCOS. Medal of Honor recipient from 2071. And to cap it all off, an Olympic bronze medal winner for the decathlon in 2060. Current occupation, security officer. Next, N. Volkmer, previous occupation, Dean of Physics, VTU. That must stand for Vault-Tec University. Education, Doctor of Applied Mathematics from CIT, Doctorate of Nuclear Engineering from CIT, accomplishments, Nobel Laureate in Physics from 2051. Current occupation, Chief Maintenance Technician. Better than death, I suppose. And with that, we see a small slice of the caliber of person who was admitted to Vault 76. What stands out to me is that many of these people had already achieved so much in their lives before entering Vault 76, and then they spent an additional 25 years here. Based on that, I think it's safe to say that many of the people leaving today on Reclamation Day are stepping out into the wasteland unarmed in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s. The only ones leaving in what many would say is their prime of life would be those who were born here, the children of these pre-war luminaries. Nearby we see a projector flipping through an informational slideshow, and next to this is Pool.
You, sir, possess the skills necessary to accomplish anything. I'm sure of it.
Love that confidence I hear in your voice, Pool. At this station, we find some glasses, a pen, and a selection of perk cards, which I failed to loot, though I took the time to equip my party hat and black rim glasses. Moving forward, we go down a tunnel. We can turn left to see again that this vault goes so much deeper, but we can only head forward. Moving into the next room, we see a bit of a security office on the other side of these barred windows. Looks like there's a terminal there. Gonna see if I can find a way over there. Sure enough, moving forward, we find a door to the left that leads to screening. Inside, we find the security terminal, but it's locked. Thankfully, it requires 0 in hacking in order to unlock it. And terminal hacking is done in exactly the same way as we remember from Fallout 4. Only this time, by succeeding in completing the Hack a Terminal challenge, we gain more Atom. Inside, we find 3 entries. The first, Vault 76 Security Instructions, Confidential Security Eyes Only. Vault 76 is one of the most highly valuable and important vaults in our network. As such, these orders must be obeyed at all costs. The future of America is at stake. Upon receiving the activation notice, your team is authorized to use lethal force. Any obstacle or threat that stands between you and getting vault residents safely inside the vault must be dealt with decisively. Only authorized residents are allowed inside. All other personnel should be considered enemy combatants. So these were instructions that the security team followed just after the bombs dropped, while helping people get inside. I wonder how many civilians they killed during that time. The Overseer has special instructions after the activation notice. As soon as the entry procedures are complete, your team must stow all weapons in specified containers. Further orders will then be dispensed. Trust your Overseer. Obey your Overseer. Know that each and every member of your team was selected specifically for this assignment because of Vault-Tech's faith in you. If you work together, you will succeed. So, there were at least a few live weapons here in the vault. I wonder where the security team stashed them. In the next one, incident reports, we find 4 entries. The first, drunken disorderly. Jill caught M. Thompson singing loudly during the night cycle. He got into the Reclamation party stores and borrowed a 6-pack. The rules say the theft mandates lockdown, but what's the point? In 2 days, everyone's out anyhow. Threw Thompson in the holding cell to sleep it off. In the next one, assault investigated. Nakamura investigated a complaint filed by our old friend Jake. Jake claimed that E. Jefferson shoved him with intent to commit bodily injury. Nakamura found a witness, and turns out Jake was gently shoved out of the way after he was laying into Jefferson about being an ineffectual ass. Asked the chief whether we could nail Jake for filing a false report. Chief said that Jake technically was assaulted though, so it's dropped. God, I hate lawyers. In the next, unauthorized access investigation. Terminal 23B was hacked last night. Sandy investigated, and we've got no idea who did it. The Reclamation files were accessed, however, which has the chief furious. What does he expect? Half the Rezzies are goddamn geniuses. How are we supposed to keep them out of the restricted files? Doubled up on shifts so we have more eyes out there. Like that'll help. Were the files that had been accessed any of the files that we've already read? Or could they have uncovered something that we know nothing about, like the contents of those files that we found deleted? If so, who did it? And what will he or she do with that information? In the final one, theft investigated. Another claim from Jake. Again. Sent Nakamura over, she's the only one that doesn't want to strangle the guy. Jake claims he's missing 1 box of sugar bombs from his room. He's demanding we investigate it. 1 box of sugar bombs? Told Nakamura to drop the investigation. With Reclamation coming, we have far more important things to do. Gosh, this Jake sounds like a piece of work. Wonder exactly how long he'll last in the wasteland. Backing out of incident reports, we can now read security logs. In the first one, final entry, 25 years of service, no killed in actions, and one hell of a send-off. I made one last plea to arm the Rezzies before we open. Denied. My solemn hope is generations from now visitors will come to 76 and read this and know how dedicated their forefathers were, how we regrew America from the ashes. But I must admit, I'm afraid as well. If some of the experiments in the other vaults go wrong, it can give you nightmares, and that's only the things I know about. If we can only stick together, work together, I think we stand a chance. So even though, as we just learned, the security team did have a stash of weapons, the weapons they used to fight off the civilians trying to enter the vault when the bombs dropped, they did not give these weapons to the Vault 76 dwellers when they left the vault. Even though, as we just learned, this guy wanted to. Who was it that could have told them not to give the dwellers weapons? Well, it must have been the Overseer. Who else could it be? But why would she choose to make their survival harder? In the next one, keeping a lid on it, had to lock down Casey for blabbing about the activation notice. The cat's already out of the bag, but orders are orders. Procedures we announce tomorrow, but you can feel the excitement. The team keeps asking about what to expect out there. The nukes knocked out our external sensors, so we're blind. Only the secondary Geiger counters are operational. Scuttlebutt gone wild. Lots of whispering of who's grouping up with who after Reclamation. I worry that the biggest threat to the project isn't any threat we'll face out there, it's from within. The Resis are a formidable lot, but give them free reign, and Lord help us. And in the final one, rundown complete, team tore through the activation notice checklist. Logs wiped, non-essential gear secured, reclamation packages acquired, etc. The whole procedure went down in record time, like we've been practicing for years. Some grumbling about unleashing the Resis without the Overseer keeping them in check, but overall, a good performance. I detect a bit of resentment from the security team towards the Vault Dwellers, but then again, they were the ones trying to keep them out of trouble for 25 years. That's it for the security office. Heading out, we can go downstairs to explore that lower area at the beginning of every vault.
Goodbye! Aloha! Ciao! Arrivederci! Au revoir! Auf Wiedersehen! Vaya con Dios! Buen viaje!
We see barrels and boxes, but really nothing of interest down here. No containers to loot, no aid. I was looking for that stash of weapons we read about, but to no avail. So, heading back upstairs, we can now cross the gate, bypass Alderton, who already said his goodbyes.
They grow up so fast.
And finally, exit the vault. Now this I don't get. You saw me name my character Oxhorn during the character creation process, but here my name is PC Gamer, which itself is ironic because we had to play this on the Xbox. And I haven't picked up a controller since my Super Nintendo Entertainment System days when I was a child, so as you can tell, this became a problem later on. On the other side of the vault door, we complete the quest Reclamation Day. We level up to level 1, we complete a challenge, earning 20 more Atom, and we pick up no fewer than 4 signals on our Pip-Boy. The Hunter/Hunted Station signal, the Classical radio signal, the Responders Camp signal, and the Appalachia radio signal. I can't play the music on these signals for copyright reasons, but I did talk with the developers, and even though we have brand new music and a bunch of wonderful radio stations, sadly none of them have any DJs. With that, we enter the wilds of West Virginia, and we leave the vault with so many questions unanswered. Why does Vault-Tec want to get their hands on 3 nuclear missile silos? Why did the Overseer break protocol and ask for our help? Why did she, presumably she, delete all of those entries on her own terminal? Who was it that hacked into the terminal network and downloaded data about Reclamation Day before the actual event? Why did the Overseer not give weapons to the Vault Dwellers before they left, even when at least one member of the security team begged her to do so? And why did even some of the earliest documents we found here mention that the doors to Vault 76 were to open 25 years after the bombs dropped, when the entry we found on the Citadel terminals in Fallout 3 said that the doors were supposed to open 20 years after the bombs dropped? Was the data on that terminal simply inaccurate? Or is there something going on here that we just don't know about yet? To find out, we have to follow the trail of the Overseer. But I'm out of time right now. We'll have to pick up here where I'm leaving off in my next video, which I will publish later today. That's right, I'm not going to make you wait 24 hours for the next episode. Just make sure you subscribe so that you become notified when I publish it later today. I was one of the many people invited by Bethesda to the Greenbrier Resort in West Virginia to capture some footage from Fallout 76 to share with you. They only gave us each 3 hours. So I only had 3 hours to capture as much as I could, which is why I'm not calling these videos the full story, because I'm confident that I likely missed something in my haste. So instead, see these as a first look at these locations instead of a comprehensive deep dive. As I said, we all had to play this on the Xbox, which was very difficult for me, a PC gamer, which will become evident as soon as I get into combat. Thanks for watching, everybody. I publish many Fallout videos each and every week here on my channel, so if you want to make sure you don't miss my next one, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. I have a shirt shop with completely unique designs you can't find anywhere else. My designs come in a variety of men's, women's, and children's sizes, and in a wide array of colors. My designs come on other products as well, like smartphone cases, pillows, mugs, posters, prints, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon or a YouTube member. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode on Fallout 76.